people there.
Hi. Where is it? We're just getting everything set up. Hi everyone on Instagram. So good to connect with you. Are we live on Facebook? Are we live on Facebook? We are. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi everyone on Facebook. Hi everyone on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really looking forward to connecting with you all and talking about my latest book, The Greatest Secret, also Effortless Manifestation, because manifestation is way easier than you might have realized. So just while we're waiting, hi everyone on Instagram, hi everyone on Facebook, hey Charles. While we're waiting, just you can start commenting with your questions, and just while we're waiting to get some questions, hi Laura. What I'd like to do, I've got a couple of questions from last week, the last Facebook Live, and I chose some questions that I think are kind of good for everybody, but it's just worth remembering, if you didn't know this, that by the law of attraction, everything that I am going to talk about today and everything that you hear is relevant in your life too, right now, whether you ask the question or not. So, I mean, that's just, there are no coincidences, remember? None. It's all perfect. Life is perfect. Okay, so Karen asked, when you are so far away from what you want, how do you shake the sadness away to step into gratitude? Well, whether it's sadness or whether you have any negative emotion, gratitude will just wipe it out. You don't have to spend your time in trying to get sadness away, because if you're focusing on sadness, you're creating more of it. So to remove sadness, you practice gratitude, and you just practice and practice it until you're really happy. And you can do it within a couple of days. I mean, gratitude is so powerful in changing your life that I wrote a book about gratitude. And so if you find it hard to think of practices of gratitude, then all you need to do, grab the magic. It's got 28 practices in it. It is incredible, and it's life-changing, and it doesn't cost much money. Borrow it from a library, borrow it from a friend, do whatever you need to do, but it's a life changer. Now, that's a way to get sadness out of the way with gratitude. However, if you want to remove sadness from your life, from your body forever, then you use the welcoming practice, which is in The Greatest Secret. I spoke about it last week on Facebook Live, and I described it and explained it then, and we'll probably touch on it again today, just the same, because it's the most powerful practice in The Greatest Secret. It's incredible, and it's just life-changing. So, okay, this question's really good, because I think this one here is from Louisa, and I think that, hey Amy, hey Ashley, hi Susan, hi, oh hi, you've read The Secret and the Magic, that's fantastic. Hi Amanda. Okay, so this question is from Louisa. She asked, I used to attract absolutely everything, and because of different situations, I lost my power to attract things and lost belief in myself. What can I do to fix it? I was an example of attracting all things. Now, here's the amazing thing. You never lose your power. Ever. It's impossible. You can't lose it. But you can create or attract the experience of not having power. That's how powerful you are. You are so powerful that you can create not being powerful at all. And so you are powerful. You're attracting every single second of your life. not just the things that you want, attracting some things that you don't want to. So probably the best thing to do, if you remember when you started, you probably started with something small. If you're feeling you're not attracting things, just go back and choose something small, because you don't have a lot of resistance around something small. Like if I say to you, attract a cup of coffee today, in your body you will feel, oh yeah, I can do that, I can do that. Whereas if I say to you, attract $10,000 today, you'll be like, you'll have resistance. So choose small things, and that will rebuild your confidence. But let me tell you, you are all the power there is. And so whatever you say goes, even if you're saying, I'm not powerful and I've lost it. So hope that helps for anybody that might be kind of feeling a little shaky about manifestation. Okay, so hi Tony. Oh, from Greece. Brilliant. Brilliant. Hi from Queensland. Carolyn. Hi Carolyn. Hi. Oh, I started with parking. I always have a spot in front of the store. Brilliant. That's fantastic. It's really great. Okay, so now here's a question to do with health, and this is relevant whether you have a very challenging health situation or whether you just have something small that's kind of annoying that you want to go away. So Laura wrote, what if my body is genuinely failing and the problem is physical? So Laura, first of all, I would love you to read The Greatest Secret, because it answers it answers your question on every single level. And it will just be the most enormous help to you. On top of everything in there with the practices and all the things that you can do, you will come to understand that even though for all of us, our bodies are not here forever, we all know that, you are here forever. And you just need to know that. Everybody needs to know that. Then you're not going to have any fear about anything. But you will understand, if you read through, you will understand how you can bring yourself back into balance. Because remember that when our body's out of balance, it's never just physical, it's mental and emotional as well. And so in The Greatest Secret, you can tackle it mentally and emotionally, and that will really help. So my teacher gave me a practice, and this is for all of you, for anything that maybe that is manifested that you don't want, but it's already manifested. This is a really good thing to do, this practice. You're going to ask a question of your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is creating everything, and sometimes it creates some things we don't want. Ask the question of your subconscious mind, what is it in me that is creating this? Keep asking the question until you feel you have the answer. Now, your subconscious mind is going to answer the question immediately. It has to. And it will answer the question through images or thoughts or sounds or memories. So just when you ask the question, be still and see what comes up in your mind. There may be a memory, and you might think this has nothing to do with what you just asked. But if it comes up after you've asked the question, it is absolutely connected with what you just asked. So keep asking the question until, and then when you see the answer, when you're really clear and you see the answer and you have an aha moment, oh my gosh, I just realized that I have a belief about something or another that is causing this. Once you see the answer, the entire situation will change immediately. The other thing for anybody that is suffering from any kind of physical condition in their body is to do the welcoming practice that is in The Greatest Secret and that I talked about last week. It's an amazing practice, and if you have something physical, the way to use the welcoming practice, if you have something physical, is to think about how you feel about your body at this moment, and then some emotions will rise up no doubt, negative emotions. And what you do with those negative emotions is you really just allow them to be there. Don't push them away, just allow them to be there. And this is really what the welcoming practice is. It's kind of you letting go of that emotion. And I like to welcome it, because the welcoming is the opposite to the pushing away. So the sort of the feeling of welcoming something instead of resisting it. And I'm going to give 2 incredible affirmations that are really great for the body. And one of those is, I allow my body to heal itself. And the second one is, which is insurance and a guarantee you stay in perfect health, I allow my body to have perfect health. Okay? Now, I just want to say something about effortless manifestation, because I'm sure you want to hear it. Oh, hey Amanda. Yes, look, Amanda is going through IVF, and I think last week I talked about, focusing on, I think I did, not to focus on being pregnant, but focus on having the baby in your arms. Just getting pregnant out of the way, because there's too much baggage around it. And just imagine the baby in your arms and focusing on having the baby in your arms. Hear the baby, smell the baby, feel the baby, and just stay with that, okay? And you will find that makes you feel really good. Whereas if you think about trying to get pregnant, you probably don't feel very good because you've got resistance around it. So why should manifestation be effortless? Well, manifestation is effortless when we have no doubt whatsoever. That's when it becomes effortless. And I bet every single one of you have had something in your life where you just felt you knew something was going to happen. You're like, I know something's going to happen. That is really the feeling of effortless manifestation. You just know. There's no effort in it at all. You just know it's a done deal. And so, of course, to manifest anything, we have to believe, right? That's step 2, is to believe. And you have to believe that you have it already. I can't keep reading the questions because I get distracted by you guys and everything you're saying, So do you know how much I want to talk to every single one of you? Oh my gosh. You just ask the best questions, all of you. You're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to get choked up. So effortless manifestation happens when we have no doubt. My teacher said to me that all it ever is to manifest is just making a decision, because that's how powerful we are. We just have to make a decision. So you make a decision that this is what I want. And you know what it's like? It's like making a decision that I'm going to go to the store and get some milk. No different. It's the same as that. You just make a decision, this is what I want. But then what can happen is we can have opposing thoughts and contradictory thoughts. And when we have those and we listen to those, we just changed our decision. And that's what tends to happen, right? So what the heck do you do with those doubtful thoughts? This is the best tip of the day, okay? Don't believe them. Any of them. Don't believe negative thoughts. They're just dumb old negative thoughts. They don't know anything, right? Every single negative thought is a lie. It's a lie. Okay, so don't believe a single negative thought. And so the way to joy and lasting happiness is to not believe any negative thoughts. And then your life will be absolutely incredible. So, and then that's when manifestation becomes totally effortless. So, okay, so now all of that is done. Oh, somebody can't open the video. Oh, really? Somebody just said that they dreamed of a bike, and they woke up to find that their wife had bought them a bike. That's really cool. lot of people have read The Magic and the Secret. That's really interesting. Hi Louise on Instagram. Hi everybody on Instagram. So great. Okay, so let's get to some really fantastic questions. Here's a question from Instagram. You guys are so good at questions. It's really, really hard to pick them. You're amazing. Who's worrying? Somebody's worrying. Why would you worry? That's just worrying thoughts. That's believing worrying thoughts. Don't believe those worrying thoughts. They're not true. Okay, so question from Instagram. If I want to buy land and build my dream house, when I imagine it, should I be imagining the end result of the dream house, or should I first focus on acquiring the land? I think all of you guys can answer this, right? You focus on the end result. Always the end result, because the universe is going to find the fastest way to get you what you want. It really will. The fastest, the easiest way, the most effortless way to get you what you want. And so it might be that your dream house already exists and that it's not a step of buying the land and building the dream house. So you just focus on the end result and allow the universe to take you there. That's all you have to do. And that's with absolutely everything. Like the person before that's doing IVF, and they're like, how do I stay positive? You know what? Just focus on the baby. Focus on the baby. Just feel that baby. When you're having IVF, every single step of the way, just focus that the baby is in your arms and feel the baby. That's the end result, right? Getting pregnant's not. IVF is not. That's just a pathway to it. And so it's really easy to get tricked up. Sometimes I get tricked up too. I find myself focusing on something. I'll be like, oh, what are you doing? No, that's not the end result. So, yeah, so just Elaine Murphy, hi. Oh, thank you so much. South Carolina, hi. Canada. Oh, gosh. How do you manifest being debt-free? Look, I'm going to say the app, the Secret to Money app, is so cheap. It's just like a couple of dollars, and it's got all of my practices in it. Honestly, I had lack poverty consciousness. My family did not have much money, and so I was born with all of those things. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford it. All of those kinds of things. And boy, oh boy, did I work on my mind to change my subconscious mind from lack to abundance. And you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. And so all of the things that I did are in the Secret to Money. And even today, do you know what? If a little bit of money goes out that I wasn't expecting, I go straight back to my affirmations. Straight back. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to do my affirmation. And then the moment I do the affirmations in the app, bingo, money starts coming in. So that's a really good idea to do that. Hi, Jessica. Hi, everybody. It's so good to... Oh, India, wow. Is it the middle of the night in India? I think it maybe is the middle of the night in India. All right, another question, yeah? So, a question from Ramia on Facebook. What are specific steps to effortless and fast manifestation by using the greatest secret? Wow, that's a big question. Because it took me a book to write it, to explain it to you. Here's the thing. In the greatest secret, you come to understand a lot more. It's like the next big step from the secret. You understand a lot more about the mind. When you understand more about the mind doesn't trick you anymore with its negative thoughts. You understand more about feelings, and then the mind doesn't trick you anymore with negative feelings. You also come to understand how incredibly powerful you are, that you are the one and only power in existence, not just a little person. You're the one and only power in existence. You come to understand that, and you also come to understand the nature of the world, that it is not what we think it is, that it's incredible and it's fantastic, but it's a lot easier to manifest when you understand what the world is really made of. So all of those things you'll find in The Greatest Secret, and I go into length with all of those things, and that is why effortless manifestation, that's why manifestation becomes effortless for you. The other thing that I want you to know you get also is the end of suffering and lasting happiness. That's a pretty good menu, right? Those few things. I mean, we all just, oh, you love the power, so do I. So do I. Love the power audio. We all want happiness. That's what we want. Like all of the things we're wanting to manifest is we just want them to be, we just want those things because we think we'll be happier by the having of those things. And so, but imagine if you just had lasting happiness and whatever happened in the world didn't affect that happiness, because you can get to that point. Because your true nature is happiness. That's what it is. Hi from Ireland. Hi. Hi, Ireland. Okay, so I think I covered everything there. Somebody has asked, can the welcoming practice that you mentioned also apply to OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder? Absolutely, categorically, yes, it can. The welcoming practice is what you use for anything negative, whether it's something physical that's appeared, whether it's negative feelings, whether it's negative thoughts, whether it's a negative memory, anything negative at all. The welcoming practice will take it out. And so, yes, now, if you're just new and you haven't, you weren't with us last week when I talked about the welcoming practice. The welcoming practice sounds counterintuitive, that you would welcome something, right, that you don't want. It's like, whoa, hang on a minute. That doesn't make any sense. It does when I explain this to you, is that when something that we don't want appears, we resist it. And if you remember in The Secret, what you resist persists. And so if you're resisting something you don't want, it will never go away. Welcoming is the opposite to resisting. Welcoming stops you from resisting. That's why it's so brilliant. Because resistance is not bad, really. But even that idea of resistance not being fab is something to welcome. That thought is something to welcome. And just welcome that thought, and then that thought will completely dissolve instead of building up inside of you and the mind saying, yeah, resistance isn't any good, yeah, the mind adding a whole lot of other thoughts. So that's a perfect example of welcoming. Now, what I did just then, because I've welcomed for the last 4 years, what I did just then, I felt it completely dissolve in my chest, that thought. The feeling that was behind that thought just completely dissolved, and now that is gone. So it's that easy. Okay, so next question, but I just want to talk to you guys. Yes, resistance, yes. Hi, Chris. Look, somebody said how important is meditation to manifest. You know what? If you love meditation, do it. Absolutely do it. It's really interesting. I did not have meditation as a big part of my journey. And you know why? Because I wasn't sure that everybody in the world would meditate. And so I wanted to find another way to reach permanent happiness and a dream life without meditating. And one of the things too that I noticed is I have really divine friends who meditate, but then their mind still gets them when they come out of the meditation, and their day can go all pear-shaped and everything. And so I thought there's got to be an easier way, because I'm just like, I thought of my mum and dad, and I thought my mum and dad aren't going to meditate. But if you love meditating and it really helps you, do it. Absolutely do it. I think now that I live my life kind of in a meditation in the day, where you're just feeling this beautiful happiness all of the time. And So you can get to a point where you're sort of meditating your way through the day. But that doesn't mean that you are not alert and aware. You are so alert and aware. What it really means is the mind is not running things, right? And who you really are is running your life. Because who you really are knows no negativity. Only your mind knows negativity. Who you really are doesn't. That's why when I say to you every negative thought is a lie, it's true. Because who you really are doesn't know negativity. It doesn't exist. So, okay. I feel like I need a sip of water. Okay, Lucy has asked from Instagram, what's your advice on anxiety? Now, it's really good to understand what anxiety is and where it came from, because anxiety just came from a whole bunch of thoughts that you believed. That's how it happened in the first place. So your mind gave you a whole lot of thoughts about something, about a situation, and you kind of bought into those thoughts and believed them as though they were true, and then your mind gave you more thoughts and more thoughts, and before you knew it, it turned into feelings of anxiety. So what you want to do is just again welcome that anxiety. You can have it go immediately. You are so powerful that when you welcome a negative feeling, it dissolves instantly in the face of your presence. That's how powerful you are. So if you welcome anxiety, and I know it feels a little tricky because it doesn't feel very nice, right? Anxiety. But if you welcome it, which means just allow it to be there without trying to change it, without trying to fix it, without trying to make it go away, just allow it to be there. It might increase just a little bit for a couple of seconds, and then you will feel it just dissolve, just like that in a puff of smoke. And you know what? It's the best feeling ever, because when it dissolves, happiness comes. So do that for anxiety. Do you know what I remember many, many years ago? I was working on a live Tonight Show, and it was so stressful. It was so stressful. And I started to get anxiety attacks. This was way before The Secret. And I didn't even know what they were. And you know what? Then doctors didn't even know what it was, because the hospital's like, we don't know why your heart's racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And, you know, I had all of those incredible symptoms and everything. And somebody handed me a book. Well, it was actually my doctor told me about a book. And I bought that book, and now I need to remember it in case somebody out there is wanting to buy it. It's something like this: Self-Help for Your Nerves by Self-Help for Your Nerves. Yeah. Thank you. I've got all of my team here. Self-Help for Your Nerves by Dr. Claire Wiggs. And he told me to read that book. I had an amazing doctor. I really did. And I read that book, and I never suffered from another anxiety attack again. But you know what is so incredible? The practice that she has you do in that book when anxiety comes. She called it floating, but it's exactly the welcoming practice. Oh my God, I was doing it decades ago. She called it floating, you know, so when it comes to just imagine that you're floating, and you know when you're floating on a pool, you can't kind of resist or you'll sink. You have to be super, 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 super relaxed. Well, that's what she called it. And so it's exactly the same practice as the practice that is in The Greatest Secret. So, okay. All right. Let me see. When you have a question from Brooklyn on Instagram, when you have opposing thoughts, what can you do? What can you immediately do? Think the opposite thought. Think the opposite thought. Or, you know what? I used to do this thing. I don't do it anymore. But hi Oklahoma. Hi Amber. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do this all of the time. I would just say, cancel. and then I would deliberately think the opposite thought. So, for example, let's say you're going for a job interview and your mind starts to really terrorize you with thoughts like you're not going to do very well, you don't have enough qualifications, you know, there are other people in there, they look much smarter than you, this than you, all of those kinds of things. And I would just say, cancel. I am really smart. I deserve this job. I'm great for this job. I'm perfect for this job. I am going to say the perfect words at the perfect time. I'm the perfect person for these people, and just like get on a rampage. Because the thing is, your mind is just it's just a program. And so if you start saying positive thoughts, it just like plays follow the leader. And so it will just start to give you one more positive thought after another, and you get it off the negative rant. So I hope that helps you a lot. Now I'm just going to do one more question. Let me see what I want to say. Hi Letitia, Laura. What was the name of the book for anxiety? It is Self-Help for Your Nerves by Dr. Claire Weeks. And look, I think it's out of print, but you could find a secondhand one. And if you can't find it, it's the same as the Welcoming Practice in the Sacred. It's no different. But it was a great book, you know, a really great book. I remember I used to buy heaps of copies and I would give it away to people. So, okay, if it's negative, you say get rid of it. Okay, I wonder if I can spill. No, I can't. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let me see. Okay, thank you. So one of my team is just, they can stop it right there. If it's negative, you say get rid of it, but still go away. Which to do? What's the difference? If it's negative, you say get rid of it. You know, you don't really want to say get rid of it, but that's what happens in the end. That's what happens in the end, because if you have the feeling, I want to get rid of this, that means you're resisting it, okay? And so if you're resisting it, whatever you resist persists. So you really don't want to say, you really don't want to be focused on getting rid of it. That's the thing about welcoming. You're not trying to get rid of it. You're not trying to change it. You're not trying to make it go away. You're not trying to fix it, because all of those things cause resistance. So that's why you're not trying to do any of those things, because that stops the resistance. And when the resistance stops, whatever it is changes. The circumstance changes. And you will release that energy out of your body, and you don't want it in there anyway. So, okay, so I am going to finish up here. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to answer your question, but I really, really hope that I've helped you in your life today with the things that we talked about. It's just such a joy for me to connect with you all. You all mean so much to me. I can't tell you. I see you all as the light of the hope in the world today. You all know how important positivity and kindness is. And so your life is so invaluable on the planet at the moment. So I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye. Thank you.